What's up, everybody? It's Wombat. New game, Expedition 33, really popular right now. Really enjoyed playing this through. I just finished my first playthrough. And on my first playthroughs, I like to go through and not watch YouTube videos. I like to figure things out on my own. And I got to Simon, and it was a disaster. I get through Phase 1 with all of my builds, and then Phase 2 I was getting destroyed. So I decided I was going to try and figure out how people were doing these one-shot combos that you see them talking about on Instagram and everything else. So this is what I came up with. I don't know if it's what everybody else does, but this is what I'm doing, and it worked. So first I'll just run through my builds. With Maelle, I'm using Medallium because it has the starting and Virtuoso stance. Really doesn't matter, you're going to switch to it anyway, but I was using this for some other builds and it was already leveled up. So this is the weapon I'm using. For my Picos, I've got Second Chance, Energy Master, and Augmented Counter. This is because I have all of my skills in Defense, Agility, and Might, so I need Luck and I need Vitality. So when I go to select here, I've basically gone with skills that give me health and crit to make up the 0-0 that I've got here. And if you don't know why that gets done, I'll show you really quickly. So when we go to upgrade our attributes, your weapon's going to have these A's and B's, and if you notice when you go, let's just put a point into Might on her, right? That gave me 13 points when I put a point into Might. On B, it gave, whoops. What am I doing here? There we go. I can't go any higher on that, so that doesn't help you. But you can see, and I can't take them off either, so whatever. I can't show you. But anyway, on normal weapons that are not max level, A tier is going to give you more points of attack power than Might will, and B tier is going to give you less. So on a normal weapon like this, what you should really have is all of your points in defense, then all of your points in might, and then the rest in agility. I've done it differently because I'm just set up for when I level up this weapon to max. When I come over to a weapon that is max, you get S tier. S tier gives you massively more points than any other slot. So you're always going to max your S tier, then your A tier, and then your might. And then you'll have two skills that are just at 0, and that's what you're going to choose your Picos on to help fill out those skills. So that's what I've done here. Now on the Lumias, what we have to do is, we have to do as much damage as humanly possible. So Death's Door, deal 50% more damage if health is below 10%, absolutely. Augmented Counter I just have because it's a Pico. Augmented First Strike, 50% more damage on the first hit, absolutely, we're going for a one hit. Burn Affinity adds 25%. Cheater lets you play twice, you always got to use it. Confident is not necessary, but I'm using it because I can't be healed. 30% damage and I can't be healed. Critical Moment, below 30% health, adds 50% critical. Again, not actually necessary with what I'm doing here, but it's there because it's something I used previously. My normal build without doing this one-shot thing is playing a unhealable character, so energizing start, energizing turn, basically just getting all the energies to make sure you have everything you need to do. Energy Master, first offensive, first hit, 50% more damage, of course. First strike, because we have to go first. Glass Cannon, 25% more damage. Immaculate, 30% more damage. Inverted Affinity, 50% more damage. Last Stand critical, 100% when you're fighting alone, but we're not going to be fighting alone, so it actually doesn't matter. Pain and Powerful because you have to use it. Powered Attack. This really doesn't do anything for me right now, but it's something that boosts damage, so I just selected it. Roulette, because you want the extra 200% damage, and if it goes to 50%, well, you just try again. SOS Rush, it just gives me rush right away, basically. Second chance. Shield affinity. I don't actually have any shields, but it's a damage boost, so if I got a shield, it would give me a boost. And then warming up is a 5% boost per turn. So, that's the skills I take on her. And the important things here are going to be Last Chance, which when you use it, it takes your health down to 1, which is why all of those things that boost you when your health is low are important, and it puts you into Virtuoso stance. So Virtuoso stance is a 200% damage buff. And then you're going to use Stenhall because it does stupid damage. And then if you're doing like a multi-mob fight, you can use Phantom Strike, and it also will basically just one-shot everything. So those are her important things that she needs. Verso, I won't go through his whole build because it's not actually important. What you need to have on him for this build is going to be, I like Burning Mark because it applies burn when you hit a marked target. Burning Shots, chance to apply burn, and we need, I like having all the combos. You got to have First Strike. You've got to have Exposing Attack because that'll put Defenseless on, so your attack will hit harder. Energy Master because it just gives you all the energies. And Marking Shot. Marking Shot's the important one. You got to get Mark on there for Maelle to do the damage. Basically, everything you do is setting up Maelle. So Marked Shot sets up Maelle by giving her the mark. You put Burn on because that activates Burn Affinity, which is a 25% damage buff for Maelle. That's what you're doing with him. All of his other abilities don't mean anything. And Sciel does not need anything on the stats side other than like lots of energy. So Energy Master, Energizing Start, Energizing Turn, that's really all you need to do for her. But you need to have Fortune's Fury because its targeted ally deals double damage, so that's going to be 200% on top of everything Maelle already does. And Intervention because this will let you make her play. So I'm going to do this fight and I'll show you what I came up with, and I'm guessing it's what everybody else is doing because I can't think of any other possible thing you could do. Alright, so had a little video cut there because yet again my game sound was way too high and I could not hear anything that I was saying because of how Windows records things. So our whole theory here is that Maelle needs to have all of her buffs on when she attacks. So her next turn is, we can't do anything on this turn that would do anything other than allow her to have her buffs next turn. So we're just going to skip. We could attack, but we're just going to skip. So now we're going to put Last Chance on. So this gives her a 200% buff in Virtuoso stance. Right, so she's ready to go. She's ready to attack. Now, what you want to do with Verso is you need to get Burn and Mark on. So you're going to do that by shooting. Now I ran out of AP. I didn't get either of them. So I'm going to attack.
You're outmatched.
Now I've got full AP again. And we just got Burn and Mark, so we're good to go. Finally, Sciel. Plus 200% damage. Take your turn. And now we're at 1 health, which means we've got all of our buffs from being low in health. We've got our buff from Sciel. We've got our buffs from Verso. We are ready to go. We're going to use Stenhall because it's stupidly powerful. And as long as Roulette doesn't screw us here, we win. And it didn't screw us, so we win. And you can see I hit for 86,000 or 86 million damage there. That's the highest I've ever seen. So, I mean, I'm assuming, I know, like, I've seen, like, Instagram Reels. Yes, Instagram. I don't TikTok. I'm old. Get over it. Where people are like, 1,000,000,000 damage a hit. I have no idea. I can't comprehend how someone could get to that. So there's got to be, like, picos and things that I'm missing, I'm guessing. So, you know, if there's other things that you see that I could be doing to boost that damage up, let me know in the comments. I don't understand how anybody could do more than that. There must be, like, there's got to be a bunch of stuff that I'm missing. But anyway, that's the one-shot combo, at least that I came up with. And again, I'm, like, really glad that I didn't have to figure this out until the end of the game, because this would have ruined playing the game for me. Being able to do that and just turn on Maelle's, you know, area attack ability and one shot every single thing that you fight would have taken all of the fun and challenge out of the game for me. So I'm glad I didn't do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another video that shows, like, my playthrough builds that I used, and sort of how I just configured everything to make the game fun when I played through it and actually challenging, you know, so you can have a fun playthrough without just doing exploits. And I'm sure they will nerf this at some point. Thanks, everybody.